Morning, YouTubers. I've got a few projects for us today to work on. I'm making me some tea first. I actually wanted to let you know about this tea. This is called Holy Mate tea. It's a super great tea. I can't tell you right off the top of my head right now all the great things about it, but I know that it is especially good for females. And I use my nettle. I raise my nettle, stinging nettle. And I use it. I don't crumble it up. As you can see, I don't crumble it up until I get ready to use it, because it causes the oils, the natural oils and stuff that's in it, to evaporate, and I don't want that. So most things I try not to do that to until I'm ready to use them, and then I crumble them up, put them in my diffuser, or however I do it. I like to make me a tea with several different things, from my nettle to red clover to dandelion, and I can't really remember what all. There's a bunch of calendula. I even put calendula in it sometimes, not quite as much as I would some of those other things I just mentioned, but I do put some of it in yarrow. And I put it in my big pitcher and make me some tea with that'll last me a little while longer. But this tea is also a very good pick-me-up. It's actually got some natural caffeine type things in it too. I generally try to drink it around 2 o'clock in the day, because it helps me get me an extra boost going. But it's kind of rainy today, and I really could use the nettle today, because my hormones are doing great in Jesus' name. And so I thought I'd go ahead and give me a cup going and let you know about it, because that's one of the things that's dear to me. I do a lot of tea, and I make a lot of my, or raise a lot of my own stuff that I use my teas for. And not only do I do it with that, but I also make my own salves. I've got a salve right now, actually. I call it my Tug salve, and that's initials for Thank You God, because my grandbabies, when they were little, I've had this salve, and they used it on their bottoms when they got rashes, and it was super, super healing to their bottoms. Almost completely overnight, it was almost completely gone. And I just gave some to my niece, who just had a baby, and she texted me the other day and told me that it really had made a difference, and she was excited about it as well. But one day I'll try to share that with you. But I will share that with you, because that's just. Like I said, I thank God for it. That's why I call it Tug salve, because it's a very miracle-working stuff, and it just goes to show you the things that God has provided in nature, because every bit of it is all natural, that's grown, that can heal us. And so I definitely want to share that with you. But like I said, I encourage you to get this stinging nettle. You can raise it. It grows really well, and it'll even spread for you. Some places will have it in the wild. There's actually some in the wild here, but it's not the stinging kind. There's a type that's not a stinging nettle, and there's some that I've found here since we've been here, which, as I've said before, we've only been here about a year. So, but I encourage you to get it. But me and my youngest daughter, went to Hobby Lobby yesterday, and to the Dollar Tree. And I'd love to have a shopping spree for Hobby Lobby, by all means. We weren't fixing to get a Hobby Lobby in our town, because we had to go to the next town over to go to one. But we're about to get one this coming year, so I'm excited about that. But I like to pick up ideas when I'm in there, because a lot of that stuff I just can't afford unless I find a good clearance rack or something. And so just so happens there's a Dollar Tree in the same shopping center as the Hobby Lobby. So here I go running over there afterwards. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that do that very thing. But this project here is actually not something I seen in there yesterday, even though I did take pictures of a lot of ideas I want to check in on. But this is one I had pinned on Pinterest. I kind of like some of the primitive looks, decorative looks and everything. But I don't like the really dark all over, but I like just accents of primitive stuff in my house. Because as you can tell with my kitchen, I like bright, open areas. And my husband, bless his heart, he closes windows and curtains and makes everything dark and dreary. And I don't know how we're going to get along with that when we get old, because I gotta have daylight. I gotta have brightness. I gotta have life for me. But I know everybody's different. But phew, I don't know how we're gonna function with that. But we'll see. Anyway, get back to my little project here I want to show you. I'm going to make these a little more primitive. I actually last night, or yesterday afternoon, these were kind of a gold color. I picked them up at the Dollar Tree yesterday. And I went ahead and sprayed them just with some spray paint that I had. It's like a bronzy brown color. And it don't really matter if you do that or not, what color. You know, I just wanted something dark underneath so that what I do to it I won't have so hard a time trying to keep it covered to keep the gold out. And there's little hints of gold here and there in it, which will kind of accent it if it does shine through. But it's not real sticking out to you gold. But basically, I'm going to try to set this down here to where we can see what we're doing. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and take some Mod Podge. And let me show you what I'm using first. I've got a little baggie here, and that's going to be for this. My sister had recently moved, and she went through her spice cabinets and got rid of a bunch of junk. And she actually brought it all over to me, a lot of it, and to see if there was anything I wanted. And this is probably 100 years old, for lack of better words. It's allspice. It's not that old, but it's definitely seen its day. But I'm going to use that to make my little bells look primitive. So I just figured, why not use that? Because it's already old and not really something I would probably use to cook with, so I'll do it this way. But I'm just going to do one of these, and we'll do a comeback at some point and do another. But you just cover your whatever you're going to do it with. I've actually got a lantern that I'm going to do this to as well. I actually painted it the year before last anyway. It's an old lantern, and I seen another project at that time, but now that I've seen this project, I think I'm going to do this to it because it was really cool. I like the way it looked on that. But you just cover it real good with your Mod Podge just to give something. And with these two, especially around the Christmas time, you can actually use some better fragranced ones, because I'm sure this has lost some of its flavor as old as it is. You can use fresher ones, and it'll help with the Christmas smells in your house. But anyway, I'm just going to put some of this in here. I'll just go ahead and put it all, because I'm probably going to use it all. And if I run out of this, originally what they used was cinnamon. So, you know, if I run out, then I'll just use cinnamon. You stick your little thing in there, shake it all around, do the hokey pokey, and then I didn't actually look at the detailed instructions of this thing. I just seen what it was and kind of got the idea. And I'm making my own instructions. Shake it out good, make sure you got it, and it's really awesomely cute. I hope you can see that. My lighting is just really, but anyway, and it makes it real primitive looking. I love that look. And then I'll be adding some string, ribbon maybe. I like the plaids, the buffalo plaids as well. I love the buffalo plaids. But right now I've got the original plaid, just Christmas traditional colors is what I've got. So I'll probably end up using that. I'll probably go see at the end of the season. And I'm just going to put these on a piece of parchment paper. I don't have no wax paper. I just quit buying wax paper because I use parchment paper all the time. But we'll continue to do all of those that way until I get them all done and let them dry good. And then I'll just add them to whatever. Maybe make some more Christmas ornaments. I've got some wildlife ornaments I'm wanting to make. Get me a drink of my tea. And it's okay to blend teas. If they taste alright to you, drink them. Like that yarrow. Whenever I put that yarrow in, I make it. Yarrow's a bit more. It's got a little bit more bitterness to it than this does. And then feverfew, it really has a lot of bitterness to it. So part of what I do when I make that, my big old blend, my master tea, I guess you could say, is I put all these good flavors in there. Nettle makes a really good tea in itself. Dandelion makes a really good tea. And dandelion is, well, the nettle is very good for a lot of the female things. It's good for men as well, but it's definitely good for female parts and hormones and all that. It helps balance them out. And then most people hopefully know that dandelion is very, very good for detoxing your liver and so on and so forth. And, I like to think, dandelions are very prominent in the spring. And I can't say my concrete theology, but this is my surface theology on this. God created those dandelions to bloom in the spring. And that's a big thing, you see what's one of the first signs of spring. And to me, because it's a detox, I think about all that we take in through the winter and the lack of exercises we get in the winter and so on and so forth. And I just really feel like He created that to bloom when it did, to help detox our bodies from the things that we sat around and took in through the winter, And I've even read that too, but I really believe that. Something I wanted to let you know about too was this right here. Whenever I find a product that I think is really good, I like to let people know about it. And this, to me, it's not quite as toxic as a lot of things can be, especially when you're thinking of bleach. This only takes a capful of this for a load of laundry, and is what it is. It's a bluing agent. Oh, I'll grab this one. It's a bluing agent for your whites. Now, it will not bleach things. It will not get rid of stains. It don't work like bleach does. It's a bluing agent. If anybody's ever had a toner put in their hair, or if they've got yellow tones in their hair, and they put a toner on it, it tones it. And that's what that product does. It tones your clothes. Like if you've got some whites that's gotten kind of yellowish looking and so on and so forth, you put a capful of that in your wash machine, and it's amazing the difference it makes. I've got washcloths and towels that I've used and done that with, and it's definitely made a huge difference in them. So I encourage you to get that. It's Mrs. I'll show you one more time since I saw all that. It's Mrs. Stewart's. Now for me, I had to order it from Ace Hardware. We used to carry it at Ace back when I worked there, but they got to where they didn't carry it anymore. So I had to call them and ask them to order me some. But it's really, really good product. I love it. And nobody's told me to do that or anything like that. I'm not getting paid to do that. That's just a product I love, that I have found that I really like, and I like to share things like that whenever I find things I really love. I had got this out today. I'm still unpacking and finding things that I forgot about or whatever, but this little booger is a lint chopper, for lack of better words. I don't know what they call them, but anyway, and it was dead. The batteries was dead, but I took the batteries out and there was yuck all over my battery terminals. And there may be a lot of people who know this, but there may not. But whenever I don't know if you can tell they're blue, but whenever you have that on there, a good thing you can do is get a fingernail file or a piece of sandpaper or anything, and you can sand that and just scrub that yuck off of it to where the terminals are clear again, so that you get good connection. So that's a great little tip I like to throw out there for those who may not know. I love to live a frugal life. I don't like to take advantage of things. Sometimes in life I've caught myself taking advantage of things that God's done that I don't necessarily appreciate the way I should appreciate. I want to work on these little things while I'm standing here talking. But I try to appreciate things more. And, you know, as small as this stupid bottle of stuff, and I'm not a, what's the word? I'm not a hoarder, by no means. Actually, I'm anti-hoarder. Whenever we moved this time, I probably got rid of as much stuff as I kept. If that makes any sense. I can't stand to keep stuff. If I can't just come up with something good for it, and there's things I keep. I keep just about any kind of wood I get, because I'm constantly coming up with some kind of project to do with scraps of wood. I've actually got a little fall thing that I wanted to do with some little 4x4 blocks. Maybe we'll do that too before Thanksgiving or something. That would be neat. So I like to keep things like that. I've got this little it's actually one of those cookie tins that you get for Christmas. I've got one of those that I've had for years and years. I've actually got two at this point, but because one of them's gotten too full. But I find screws. I get extra parts whenever you buy, say, a microwave or what have you. You know, you get all these extra little parts that you don't use or whatever when it comes to screws and spacers and all that. And you wouldn't believe, my husband used to make fun of me over it and stuff, but now I can't tell you how many times he's had to use my little tins. And so now he's grateful for my little tins. He'll even bring me stuff and say, hey, put this in your tins. Because that's you know, you got your place out in your garage for your certain bolts and nuts and all this kind of stuff. And that's all good and said. But then there's the oddball things that you don't think as much about. This is going to be neat. I'm excited about this. Can't wait to see my finished products. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with them. Make little ornaments out of them or stick them on reefs. I might make me a reef. I've got so many different greenery out here between pine trees and cedar trees and just wild things that grow, period. I actually found something really neat last year. I haven't decided. I want to show you that. That's actually cool. Let me grab it. Stuck it in this because I didn't have nothing really to stick it in at the time. But this is a grass that grows out here, and in the fall, it turns like this. It turns this pretty golden color and dries, and it don't flake off. It don't anything. So I salvaged a bunch of that last year that I'm going to use in some different things, decorative things. This is only one pile of it. I actually got another stack about like this in there. This has been sitting on my fireplace since we've been in the house, but it's always good stuff to find. I've got acorns. I found acorns, of course, that I'll be using to do all kinds of different little things with, and you name it, just all kinds of things out there. You just have to get out and look, and maybe one day we'll do a video on me forging for those type of things, just to do crafts with. My kids, they talk about me doing that kind of stuff. They'll see barks and stuff, because we used to collect a lot of barks and stuff to do that with as well. But anyway, I'm trying to make this video a little shorter, so I will let you go now. I hope this was a little bit more fun. And, you know, you get all kinds of ideas and you don't know what to do and how to do it and go about. So I'm learning here. This is a big learning process for me in the aspect of making these videos. So bear with me, please. I believe you'll be glad you did. I thank you for watching. God bless you, and hopefully I'll see you next time.